All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first week, official week of our work that we're going to do here for the foreseeable future. Excuse me. But what I want to do before we start with the content of World War II, and this week we're going to finish the European War, looking at D-Day, the Holocaust, and other things as well. But what I want you to do is I want you to think about as we test on our materials here for the rest of as far as we know it's going to exist here for this online learning, you're only going to get essay questions. And the essay question is going to be the same each and every time. And what you're going to be asked to do is to relate what we've learned to our principles. So I'm going to go through the principles here for you to help you figure out, or at least to recall your memory as to what these principles were, because it's been a while since we've taken a test and you've actually written an essay about this. So I'm going to go through these, maybe give you some examples for each about what could be a scenario you could use that principle for, and then what I want you to do is kind of keep these close. That way at least you know what these are, and you can go back to this video to kind of pick out which principles might be best for each exam. I do want to do an exam for World War II here. It's only going to be an essay. It's only going to be something that you're going to have to type up as a written response, or if you want to handwrite it and send a picture in, whatever works best for you. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that you have the skills and the content and the knowledge to be able to do that, which we haven't done for a long time. All right. So the preamble, as you can see underlined there, that establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty. Those are our 5 principles, and these are promises, like I told you at the beginning of the year, that the government makes to each citizen, that they will do each and every one of these things for each person. But you have to decide in our essays coming up here, and you have had to do it earlier this year, how has the government done? Have they done a good job? Have they been, rather reasonable when it comes to accomplishing these goals and making sure they've upheld these promises? All right, so that's your job with these essays. So let's go through each principle here and kind of give yourself an idea as to what each one is. All right, so establish justice essentially means to initiate fairness for all, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, that the law will treat everybody fairly no matter what. And we can definitely find examples in our World War II unit, but I'm not going to kind of go into some of those. I want to make sure you save those for the test, and I want to make sure you find them on your own. But you've got the idea that if you want to turn this into a question, are people being treated fairly at this time? Yes or no? And you come down to this understanding of are the American people treated fairly for this principle? So establishing justice, treating everybody fairly, is that happening? All right, find an example where it has or hasn't, and that's going to be your response for that essay. All right. Next is to ensure domestic tranquility. Everything in our country will be peaceful is the understanding that you will have there. So no matter what happens, that business, everything that's going on currently, in the country at the time that we're discussing, everything will be peaceful. Everything will, be run according to plan. Daily life continues as normal, and people just go about their daily lives, not having to worry about stopping everything. A great example for this, if this time period with this whole COVID-19, is our domestic tranquility being impacted by this? Yes, there's peace. There's not a lot of crime going on at this point, but at the same time, our daily lives are completely interrupted, which completely takes us out of the domestic tranquility. So keep that in mind when we go through the historical discussions that we'll have here, as long as we can think about. We'll go into this and get into, is the government doing a good job at making sure everybody's lives remain as normal as possible? All right. Next is to provide for the common defense. Is to give everyone protection by military means, as you can see in the photo on the right here. Using the military to protect American citizens and their rights. When the government does that, is there something, are they doing a good job? Are they not making any mistakes? Are they using the military appropriately? World War II, there's plenty of reasons where that was done, and we use some of them during a World War I unit. So then you can definitely consider, moving forward as we go through this unit and others as well, where military action has been needed to maintain American safety. All right, next one, promote the general welfare. This was a difficult one to remember at the very beginning of the year as to what you all thought this meant on your own without having a kind of a definition of this. But the idea is to promote the general welfare, to care for those in need. That's essentially what this principle is all about. All right. Is the government doing the job necessary to care for those in need, to take care of the things they can't take care of themselves? Another great example of looking at the COVID-19 thing that we're going through, at least this crisis right now, everything that we're going through here, we look at this, idea of, is the government maintaining the level of supplies that we need? Is the government, providing the resources needed to care for these, for the people of the United States, no matter where they are? So that's something you can think about as well for this principle. All right, last one: secure the blessings of liberty. This is much like the one for, establishing justice, but making sure that freedom and fairness continues for ourselves and all of our children and their children and in every generation to come. Is the government doing the job to maintain that liberty? All right, so continue to think about that. If you want to use this one, you can. A lot of people like to use establishing justice for that one because equal treatment, equal fairness for all. But secure the blessings of liberty, this is one that you can definitely use. All right, so I just wanted to go over these. This will be at the very top, of at least the first thing that comes on to the screen for you when you go over this. So continue to think about these. If you need to take more notes, you can, but just as a refresher for you. All right, everyone I'll give you more videos here in a little bit.